Greetings, Attorney Derek DeBrosse coming to you from Columbus, Ohio, Munitions Law Group, munitionsgroup.com. Please like us, follow us on social media, and click that little bell near the comment section so you get notifications when new videos pop up. We're trying to get these videos out as quickly as we can, obviously, as much as we can. We really do like doing these videos. Sometimes time just gets in the way. Today's question, though, comes from Jesse, and Jesse says, I live across the street from a high school. I believe, or I'm going to assume, rather, Jesse, that you're in Ohio. You have a concealed handgun license, and your question is, are you allowed to carry concealed or open carry a firearm? You live just 80 feet from the edge of the school property. So I'll try to address this in a general nature. And remember, you know, in these videos we have disclaimers. This is not legal advice. You should not rely on this advice before you actually retain an attorney to give you researched advice. So with that said, generally speaking, President Bill Clinton actually passed this law that we're talking about under the federal level. I think it was 96, 97, sometime around then. It was actually, I believe, if I remember correctly, deemed unconstitutional at one point because they didn't put the magic language of interstate commerce into the law. So they changed that very quickly, and it ended up passing. But basically it says you can't have a firearm in a school zone. It's defined, if I remember correctly, as I think I want to say it's a 1,000-foot perimeter around the school, the property. But there's some exceptions to that. One of those is private property. So if you're on private property, you should be fine. And the other one is if you're licensed by the state that you're located in with a concealed carry license and you're following those state's guidelines in that school zone. So in Ohio, you can have a gun in a school zone as long as it's locked in a car or you're in the car with a gun. Okay, so that's a newer law in Ohio. It used to be you could only like pick up a child and go from there. Walking in front of the school, I would say that it's an interesting question because under Ohio law, you may not be in the school zone like if you're walking across the street from the school because Ohio defines school zone differently. So you're not violating Ohio law. Ohio permits you to be there. So where the question I think would come would be because Ohio permits you to be there, does that fall under the exception under federal law? And that's something I would have to research for you. But generally speaking, my answer to you is you're on private property, you should be fine. And then again, if you're in a car, you should be fine as well. And you know, not for nothing, just remember, I don't see a lot of these cases ever arising. I don't think the feds are staking out schools to find out if somebody's driving by the school with a gun in their car and they're licensed to do so, and they're going to, you know, arrest them and prosecute them. It's just unlikely. But nevertheless, you should know your rights, and this is a very, very fuzzy area of the law. So I will try to look that up before my next filming and try to get you a more clear answer on that question, you know, whether or not you're just walking across the street from the school, legally carrying the gun, concealed pursuant to Ohio law, if that's okay. So again, I apologize, I have a more direct answer for you, but I hope that gave you a little bit more insight into how the schools are considered regarding guns. As always, remember to be safe out there and carry on.